This is a trade update on US dollar CAD. Last week on the um, weekly watch list that I posted for the first week of September, this was really the only thing I was watching for last week, and I entered it on the 1st of September 2020. And I just wanted to do a follow up since I had posted this on the watch list. This is the daily chart, and just as I outlined in the weekly watch list, I was wanting it to decelerate here at this nice support level and take it long up to really up to this next support and resistance line, and at least the 50 EMA and the trend line. And it did get up there, and it got up there with such momentum. I was managing it on the lower time frames, as I'll show you, and I'm still in this trade. I still think it could keep going up, but all my risk is off the table. I moved my stop up to break even, so either way, I'm just going to let this play out for a few more days and just watch the lower time frames, as I will show you here in a minute. This is the weekly chart, just to kind of show you the room it has to keep pulling back. It is in a downtrend here as of late, so I'm thinking it can still pull back a little bit more, but I don't want to stay in it too long if there is some momentum to the downside on the lower time frames. But let's go ahead and move down to the lower time frames. I'm going to enlarge the 1 hour chart for you. These are the exact same trend lines and fib that I drew in for you on that trades on watch for last week. These are the same ones I drew in for you, and as I outlined, I wanted to pop above and come back and retest, and that's exactly what happened. And I got in right as it was retesting it, maybe a little early, but I was really liking the higher time frames and the other factors, the US oil and the US dollar index, how they were acting at the time, and I can go and show you those at the towards the end, but I outlined all that, like I said, in the trades on watch for last week. So the 1 hour, as you can see, my stop was safe beyond 0.75 fib and protected by the trend line and the 50 EMA, and I did not want to take profit at this larger trend line just because it wasn't a good enough risk reward for me at the time. It would have been shy of 2%, and as you can see, price did respect this larger trend line pretty well right here, and actually came back down into a little bit of a loss and then continued to trend up, and once it got past that trend line, it had a pretty good run here, and it came back down below the 1 hour 50 and obviously was looking like some pretty strong bearish momentum. But as I'll show you, whenever I switch over to the 4 hour, that's really where I like to manage the trades. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just trying to enlarge the 4 hour, and I clicked the wrong button. But as you can see, this 4 hour is very clean. really was respecting this trend line really well, but after it formed this higher low right here, and then not a higher high yet, but another higher low, um, I just wanted to give the trade a chance, and once it popped up above this area right here is where it was going below the 1 hour 50 EMA. But really, if you look at the 4 hour, it's just um, it just needed a pullback. You know, price never moves in a straight line, and it was just pulling back to form another higher low. So we're still trending to the upside. I'm gonna let this run to the profit target. You know, if we get some double tops and a lower low and then a lower high, or just something that is looking bearish, and if I'm at a strong uh, risk reward, if I'm at like 4% and on the daily chart there's some bearish candles, a high test or an inside bar, then I would look at manually just closing it, taking the profit, moving on to the next trade. But if everything is still looking nice on the lower time frames like this, I'm just going to let it ride and give it a chance to hit the full, almost 5.5% profit. So that is pretty much just a breakdown of where I got in. I just wanted to show y'all it played out pretty much how I explained it in the trades on watch for last week. They don't always happen like this. This is not, uncommon though for them to play out really nice like this whenever you have everything lining up. So I am going to now just kind of show you oil briefly. Oil, because the oil, as it was getting squeezed up here, like I showed in the trades on watch last week, and I knew the edge was to the downside, getting squeezed like this up by this nice support and resistance line up here. It's really nice. I really wanted to get into a Canadian dollar pair because they're so tied to oil. And now there's another minor, this level's more minor. There's less data down here at $35, but it is starting to kind of slow down. So I am going to be watching the lower time frames on the trade that's open, but this did work out pretty nicely. I'm going to switch over to the dollar index. And again, this was worked out nice, like I explained. It could have kept coming down to the most recent support and resistance line. There is one, a minor one in here that was kind of close to where price was, but it is pulling back, like we talked about in that trades on watch. So that is just a review of my only trade from last week. This was really the only thing on watch, and I'm just going to see how it plays out. And if we continue to decelerate around here, I will manually close it. But I'm going to let it breathe and see what happens. If y'all have any questions on anything that I was explaining in this video, just comment below and I will be happy to help.